What's the most fucked up thing about having boobs? As a guy, I have to think that the fact they're always on display sucks, if you've got a size you don't like. A guy with a small dick, no one is going to know until the time comes for him to show it, but women are on full display even covered up. And yeah, I know you can stuff pad bras, but I feel like that's an embarrassing situation just waiting to happen. And if they're huge to an almost comical point, you're looking at surgeries to reduce them. Again, I have no evidence to back this thought up, so I could be off, but I feel like I'm probably right. I'm a guy, but a friend had naturally large, like double F cups, breasts by age 20, and she had a small frame like 5 feet 5 inches, 120 pounds. She was always miserable, said her back was always hurting, and during her cycle they constantly ached or just plain hurt. She saved for a reduction and was finally able to get them to a C cup. Her entire general disposition changed when she was not constantly in pain. My sister-in-law just had hers removed because they had a fatal attraction to her. Honestly, I have less complaints about my boobs and more about bras. First of all, why can't I find a single bra or sports bra that doesn't have removable pads? I don't want them gone and they get lost in the laundry and the hole to out them back and is the tiniest thing ever. Also, I am fat but have boobs that aren't proportionate to my body weight, they are smaller. This sucks because it's really hard to find a bra that has small enough cups for me but a big enough waistband. Everything everyone else said, but no one has mentioned they impact your ability to breathe. My breasts are about 4 pounds each. That's 8 pounds strapped to my chest at all times. I have no relief. I can lift them with my hands, but suddenly being able to move my chest fully means I'm dizzy with more oxygen than I'm used to. My wife holds them for me when I ask her, which is so sweet, but her arms start to shake a few minutes and from their weight totally unfair. The number one thing I hate about my boobs is how fucking hot they get. My arms will be cold so I put on a sweater, but inside my shirt it's like 100 degrees. Just can never get the temperature correct and be comfortable. It's only been a problem since I got fat and old saggy. But it's gonna be a problem from here on out. They produce so much extra heat it's hard to sleep comfortably. I'm always tits out at night. It doesn't matter how big, small, perky, droopy, loopy, bulbous, tubular, mismatched, or how wonderful they truly are, they will always be judged according to some arbitrary rule. Most of the time those arbitrary rules are made up by those who feel entitled to look, touch, and own them but don't like it when told no. Also, no matter the shape, comfortable bras don't really exist. Bikini tops do not come in our size. Or they do, and it's not supportive at all and doesn't look good. So instead I just wear a black sports bra on normal bikini bottoms and nobody can tell the difference. I've had a few women stop me at the beach and ask where I found my swimsuit top. I love their reaction when I tell them it's just a sports bra. It sucks if they are too big, then you're objectified, have to deal with back pain, clothes fit weird, etc. It also sucks if they are too small. BC men vastly prefer bigger boobs. You can't compare to all the beautiful women with big breasts that they are obsessed with. You can't win either way. I am a B cup, so I am too small. It's like men's balls, except theirs are located below the waist. We keep those balls in the chest and very close to heart. Low boobs are beautiful. The only annoying part is where I'm breathing heavily or having bad anxiety. I can't hide it no matter how poker face I am. You could tell by how much they move up and down. Having a clogged milk duct because a bit of your milk solidified, now nothing can come out, so you're in pain because you're too full and your nipples are raw because the pump can't get the clog out, and you have to try to somehow convince your partner you'll use their mouth to suck out a chunk of solid milk from your tit. How I can't enjoy mine because they're too small to offer any amount of cleavage or look good in most women's clothing. Literally I think I'm smaller than an A cup but too lazy to shop, but I can't buy bigger ones because real is better, and if I had bigger boobs naturally they would destroy my back. Can't win that, even if it's casual and you don't need a bra for that occasion. If people somehow, I still don't get why they're just staring at others' boobs, notice they will gossip about it. On multiple occasions this has happened. In school, once from teachers about another teacher. Like, what the actual fuck? When if you breastfeed, one breast will usually produce more milk, sometimes a significant amount more. For most women, the right breast produces more. Depending on the disparity between the amount produced by each breast, this could result in one breast being noticeably larger than the other. 32 weeks pregnant and have had viscospasms spasms since week 6. It happens if my nips get cold or even a slight breeze and literally feels like someone took a knife and chopped the nip off. The only thing that helps is a heating pad and the pain doesn't go away for 20-30 minutes. Absolutely miserable, having 2 unwanted growths on my chest that destroyed my back and are gonna cost me a small fortune to get chopped off for good because sexism struck when I had a reduction and they didn't make them the size I asked for so that the rest could shrink away with tea and bulking up. I just started a new birth control. By just started I mean this is my 3rd month and my boobs have doubled in size. They hurt so bad that I can even touch them without cringing. Wearing a bra feels like sandpaper on my skin. Apparently it's a normal side effect. Cheers! Back pain and the fact that bra shopping is not only crazy expensive for decent ones, it's a ridiculous process BC of style and shape. You can have 10 different bras in the exact same size and none of them will fit you correctly, but the 11th one in that size will. Fuck bras. Having one bra say 42 DDD, another say 38 DDD, one 46 DD, and a 40 E. Which all fit and don't fit at the same time. And don't get me started on sports bras. Either the around is too tight but the titty holders fit, or the around fits and the titty holders aren't big enough. The most fucked up thing about having big boobs is men assuming I'm easy and speaking to me in all manner of disgusting ways. Now I'm older I know how to deal with it, but my younger self was often touched without consent and did not know what to do in the moment. I'm a cis man so I can say for sure, but my 2 cents is probably the objectification part. People with boobs often have their entire identities and social interactions affected by whether others find them sexually appealing. It's so fucked. What a nuisance they are. I'm 51 and have yet to find a comfortable bra. Sometimes it's difficult to find a good sleeping position. I sleep in my side. Sometimes they itch or ache without notice. They're just a pain in the ass, basically. Hypersexualization. Jesus, if some people see even the slightest indent of a boob under a shirt, they lose their shit. I'm at a size where bras aren't needed, wish they were smaller, and get this nonsense all the MFing time. Being shamed for even having them. Must keep them hidden from the world, or you will draw unwanted attention. I wish I could go topless on a hot summer day and not be ogled like a piece of meat or yelled at for being indecent. The bigger they are the stupider and more promiscuous especially men assume you are. No matter what you do with them it is assumed by everyone that you are trying to get sexual attention from men no matter how old you are. How if you're a woman, you can't have them out in public, but if you're a man, you can have them out in public and it's normal. If they're out on social media, it's porn and shamed, but if you're a man, nothing happens. Big name retailers will intentionally put you in the wrong bra size because they carry a limited range of sizes and want to make a sale. I'm a 48 liters and I can count on one hand the companies that make bras that fit me. Getting it in the tit is probably comparable to being hit in the balls. Once got a doorknob slammed into my tit and I swear I saw all my ancestors in the 5 minutes it took me to get up off the ground from the pain. If you have big ones and get a bra with underwire, it's always fun when it starts to get worn, and the wire gets through the fabric and stabs you. Who'd have thought that much blood could come from such a small gash? The most fucked up is reading these posts. Seems women hate them, the hassles and inconveniences legitimately, really. And men can't get enough of them, we worship boobs like nothing else. This is a major wow. My boobs are so big I often find them in the topic of conversation when sometimes I just want to lay low. Also there are a lot of cute shirts and styles I simply cannot wear because of these beautiful jugs. How much handedness comes into play with size sometimes. If you use one hand too dominantly for tasks, it's smaller than the other and doesn't look as full because the one gets a more consistent workout. When your underwire rips through the casing in the middle of the day and you have to spend the next X hours being impaled in the armpit fat until you can finally rip your bra off the minute you get home. Men think of them as something pretty to look at instead of it being a food source for babies. They're not meant to look pretty for your own pleasure, they are meant to help sustain the life of a child. Being told constantly what they're for. Random punching, nipple hair, the glorification of the perfect boob. Mine hug the floor and I sit here constantly upset they don't look out over the horizon. The variation in sag and symmetry from woman to woman is really fucked up. I've seen 60-yo women with some firmness and bounce and 20-30-yo women that lost the fight with gravity. I think it's unfair having to find bras that work with your boob shape. Not all boobs are the same shape. I once had a bra before I really knew what my shape was, and it looked like I had cone titties when I wore it. Upside down face. If you're a person of substantial size it is assumed you also have massive breasts. So finding a size 48 take-up is literally impossible. The closest I can get is a 48B and the girls swim around a bit. Bras feel so uncomfortable after lounging about in nightgowns or sweats for almost 4 years. When I go out and have to put one on, it's a major event. Cinderella getting ready for the ball. The sensitivity when I'm PMSing, It feels like they are bruised and swollen, like they got beat TF up. And I hate bras, but I also hate the itchiness of a shirt on them if I'm not wearing a bra. If you have larger ones, and you lay on your side, they can spill out like pancakes. And then they get pinched in your arms and pinched stepped on by your toddler climbing all over you. Pervs stare at them even when you're not showing any cleavage. Big hoodie, oversized shirt, or hoodie and a jacket? Doesn't matter. Some weirdo will still give them a solid stare. The dumbest idea is a teacup and bigger is huge. That is not always the case. What's worse is stores refusing to sell bras with larger cups or band sizes 32 and smaller. How much some people judge your personality based on their size. It's insane that something you have no control over can get you so easily labeled in a derogatory way that people think you should put them in a wire contraption every day in order to be decent. I don't understand why natural breasts just being there is offensive. No such thing as a bulletproof vest shaped for women. Their excuse is that we are all different sizes and shapes, and that's too much work for the manufacturers. Them being seen as sexual even when covered. Especially when you are trans and people feel it's okay to make comments about your boobs to your face. Just, that they sag because of gravity, regardless of how much you wear a bra. And boob jobs are expensive as hell, so I just gotta deal with it for the time being. The pain on your shoulder from the bra straps. I am average size, but it still hurts. And if I have the straps looser, then they will glide off the shoulder. My shoulders and back hurt all the time, and I can't lie on my NWH, and I nurse my children. I had an oversupply of milk and THC is painful as well.